6 blind men stood before something they had never encountered before. An elephant. Each man touched a different part, and each became absolutely certain he knew the truth. This is the Buddha's story of the blind men and the elephant, a lesson about perception, ego, and misunderstanding. Welcome to Insight of Buddha. Long ago, a king brought an elephant to a village where blind men lived. The blind men had heard of elephants, but none had ever touched one. Curious, they gathered around. The king asked them to describe what an elephant was like, based only on what they could feel. The first blind man touched the elephant's leg. He said confidently, "An elephant is like a pillar, strong, solid, unmoving." The second blind man touched the tail. He laughed and said, "No, you are wrong. An elephant is like a rope, thin and flexible." The third blind man touched the trunk. He said, "You are both mistaken. An elephant is like a thick snake, alive and powerful." The fourth blind man touched the ear. He shook his head and said, "An elephant is like a large fan, wide and soft." The fifth blind man touched the tusk. He declared, "An elephant is sharp and smooth, like a spear." The sixth blind man touched the side of the elephant. He said calmly, "An elephant is like a wall, broad and solid." Each man spoke with certainty. Each believed the others were wrong. Soon they began to argue. Voices rose, egos clashed, anger replaced curiosity. The Buddha told this story to explain human conflict. He taught that people argue not because they are evil, but because they see only a part of the truth. Each blind man experienced something real, yet none experienced the whole. The Buddha explained that attachment to one's own view creates division. When people cling to partial understanding and call it absolute truth, conflict is inevitable. This happens in religion, in politics, in relationships, even within ourselves. The Buddha taught that suffering arises when the mind insists, "My view is complete." Wisdom begins with humility, the ability to say, "This is what I see, but there may be more." The Buddha did not ask people to abandon their experiences. He asked them to stop clinging to them. Truth is vast, perspective is limited. The Buddha taught that listening is a form of wisdom. When you truly listen, your understanding expands. When you cling, it contracts. The story of the blind men reminds us that arguments often come from incomplete vision, not bad intentions. Peace grows when the mind loosens its grip on certainty. If this story resonated, pause for a moment and notice where you might be holding tightly to a single view. Like this video, share it with someone caught in constant arguments, and subscribe to Insight of Buddha for stories that turn confusion into clarity. Because wisdom is not about being right, it is about seeing more.